Okay, we are live.
We
Hello and welcome. I am Ronky, your GM, and in the stream today we have Rigel Kent and Gargaman. Today we dive into a traveller campaign set in the Third Imperium era. We are using the awesome GURPS system by Steve Jackson Games, and our VTT of choice is Fantasy Grounds. You'll find this and past sessions on YouTube and as audio-only podcast. The links are in the video description. If you enjoy our content, please like this video and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels. Before we kick this off, do we have any sort of character business that we want to discuss?
I do have a quick question, and it will also apply to FX when he gets in there. Both he and I ended up picking up a perk, which is basically a concealed carry license. And then it occurred to me, is that even going to be valid throughout here?
We ran into that before in the New Deal, and I think what we ended up with was a Travelers Aid Society permit that was at least acknowledged, maybe not 100% followed.
Well, I was thinking about that because it's like I think both he and I were thinking, oh yeah, it's probably going to be an Imperium thing, but if we're on the Florian Route, that is mostly in the borderlands, and it's not actually Third Imperium. It's not. It's actually going from very edge of Third Imperium to the Ozlon.
Yeah, most of the worlds you'll be traveling through are non-aligned, so they're, I guess, client states.
Okay, so I will relate to him on the Discord that we should probably not pick that up. Take that, refund that, get a different, spend the point elsewhere.
What I might do, keep it, and it will be a Travelers Aid Society. It'll be a, what do they call it? Like courtesy rank. It'll be kind of like a courtesy. So if the law level is, say, I don't know, law level 4, it may allow you to conceal carry into the law level below.
Yeah, I just posted what the perk said, and that's kind of what it sounds like it said, where it's like, if you have this, it lets you go one level lower than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for weapons, concealment lowers legality class by 1.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and it'll be a courtesy thing. So it may not always be on it, but off the top of my head, I don't think there's going to be any issues anyway.
Okay, I'll just rename it Task CCW.
Yeah, I think that's what Hank had.
Cool.
Any other character business?
Did a bit of shuffling around, but I think you know about all that already anyway, with the charisma and whatnot.
Cool. For our viewers, we had planned to do character introductions, but we are short one of our players today, so we will do the character introductions most likely in the next session. And then those character introductions will be made available as a separate video on the YouTubes. The campaign we're playing is set in the Trojan Reaches. It is a prequel to the Pirates of Dranax, and it hopes to set the characters up for the introduction of that campaign, which we will play at a later stage. As to when that happens, I'm not sure where it'll fit in the rotation. Possibly right after this. Okay, so we shall...
15th anniversary, no mention.
Oh, the campaign is also a 15th anniversary of the Olympus group. We started with a traveller campaign some 15 years ago. So this is in honour of that initial campaign. I don't know if that's a thing to be proud of or very sad, that we've been doing the same thing for the last 15 years. But anyway.
It's been Fantasy Grounds the whole time, too. Doesn't feel like it's that old.
Yeah, I think if we went back to the Fantasy Grounds that we were using back then, it would be frustrating to what we've got now.
Yeah, now that we've finally gotten used to Unity.
So, okay, we shall begin. So, as we've discussed before, your characters are crew on board a bulk freighter, the Olympus XV. I have a nice picture of the ship.
Yeah, you never gave us the company name.
Olympus LLC.
Yeah, probably Olympus LLC. That works. Or perhaps, what was the company name for the previous campaign?
The Spinward Star.
So maybe this is the Spinwood Star. They've actually expanded.
It can't be that. It's too early for that. It's like another couple hundred years.
Oh, good
100
God,
years?
no. Good goodness, no. It's right.
No, wait, it was like 20 years.
Yeah, something like that. It's right before the Fifth Frontier War, I think.
Well, whatever the company name is, I'll have to look it up, but I don't have that right in front of me right now. This is our ship. It is a bulk container freighter. It has majority of its cargo happens in the form of containers, but it does have some internal cargo bays where it will carry miscellaneous stuffs.
Did you actually share the image?
I did not.
Man, that trip really messed with you, didn't it?
Yeah, I've been away from home for like a week and a bit, something like that anyway. The captain of this ship is Captain Adric Kale. This is him here.
He looks like a rough sea captain.
He's too old for this job.
Yeah, he's in his early to mid 50s.
I would like to say that I'm in my early to mid 50s, and I do not look that old.
Well, he's had a hard life.
That guy's in
What if
his
you do?
70s.
Yeah, 60s maybe.
Super sci-fi. He could be like in his 90s.
This is true.
Yeah. Expand that out to traveller ages. I don't know what the average age of a traveller human is, but middle-aged he is. He is a stern captain, but he is very fair. Do your job well, and it is appreciated, and he will look after you. Do a job poorly, and he is likely to quickly come down on you, and if you don't change your ways, you'll find your employment short. He is supported by the first officer, Thane Corval.
Who doesn't like me at all. He does not like Tobias at all.
This guy is a very loyal number one to the captain. Though he, even though he's loyal, he will voice his opinions if he feels the captain's decisions are unwise and risk the ship or crew. Thane is very protective of the crew.
So he gets the +2 from us.
He will often, if there's a dispute, he will often take the side of the crew over, the company or the captain or, whatever the case may be. And then we have, actually, that is all that we need to reveal at this point. You find yourselves at the Fist High Port. It is the first system in the Florian Route. Let me bring up the map. Fist is located here. That's what I was going to do. It's actually going to do an overlay for the route. Anyway, next time.
You should do an overlay for the route.
I have set this up in a location. So Fist is located within the Tobia subsector. I hope that's shared for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Did that share? Can you see Fist?
I can.
Well, that part's working at least.
Oh, what happened to the image?
You may have to share those individually. Yeah, I was having that issue as well. When those images are using a token, I think it's actually called a token in the code, and so you actually have it shows up in the assets, and you have to friggin' share those individually. It's kind of annoying, actually.
So did that share?
Yeah, just now.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Hope that shared.
That is probably not how you meant it.
Yeah, that looks pretty weird on the map.
It wasn't supposed to be a token.
You pulled from the Fist image instead of the, I bet, instead of the, whatchamacallit.
So you are in the Fist Highport, currently undergoing the final preparations and loading of your haul, which you will eventually take to the end of the Florian Route, which is, I never know how to pronounce that, Yggdrasil.
Oh,
Yggdrasil.
World Tree.
Fist is an Imperial world right on the frontier of Imperial space. I don't think we need this map anymore.
I take it our next stop is going to be Imisa.
I think it's
No,
Wildman.
it's Wildman is your next stop.
Oh, gotcha. We're going the other way. Boy, that overlay sure would have been handy.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah. How do you do the brute thing like that again?
Alt.
Yeah, but that doesn't yeah, if I want to go from Fist to Wildman to Corden, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah. So move it back to Wildman, and then you gotta click. If you keep clicking, it'll keep adding waypoints.
Yeah, I get it now. Okay, so are you seeing it change right now? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just shutting out the Florian trade route so we know.
I guess it would be kind of handy in the new waypoint system if you could advance part way instead of the entire selection.
Well, yeah, but it's meant for character movement, so.
Yeah, this is not what it's meant for. Right, so
So you are currently in Cargo Bay 1, loading the last of the cargo.
why are we loading cargo?
Because that is everyone's job. Well, overseeing it. Close that image. So, Tobias, you are the leader of your group, or the commander of your group, or officer of your group, I should say.
Aye.
You have an option to be down on the ground doing the dirty work, or you can be in the bridge overseeing the cargo bay, barking orders. What sort of character are you? Or what sort of leader are you?
I do not think he is going to be traveling around in the muck, and no one likes to have the officer present, walking around, shouting at him to do it right. So he's going to have related the instructions to task the instructions to the senior non-com and allowed that guy or gal to handle it.
All right, so from your vantage point, you can see you have a view of the cargo bay. There is a grav lifter that is doing its job, moving smaller containers and slotting them into their respective spots.
Is there an actual bay? Looked like it was all external.
No, there is a bay. There's two smaller bays on the underside. The small cargo bays are for ancillary stuff. Everything seems to be going well. The captain is sort of leaning over a display terminal, and he's studying the routes and so forth. The first officer, Thane, is overseeing the cargo along with Tobias. In the time that you've been here, Thane has not said very much in terms of words to Tobias, with the exception of orders for things to do. So there's no general chit-chat happening between you guys.
That tracks because I do have him as an enemy at the rival level.
When he does bark an order to you, it is usually abrupt and certainly not cordial. You can hear the disdain in his tone.
He's just jealous.
And when this happens, you will hear the captain from the back. He will say, Thane, it's unnecessary. We have a job to do here. And Thane will then reply, aye, Captain. As you watch, you will hear the comms over the radio of the various crew coordinating their loading, and then you will hear the voice of the grav operator say, something's wrong here. The grav lift is not responding. And then you will sort of look through the viewport to the cargo bay. Then there is an explosion in the grav lifter, and it goes careering into the deck of the cargo bay, and then starts, collides with some chemicals and whatever is being hauled there, and then there's a secondary explosion and a fire will break out.
Hate it when that happens. What is the ship SOP on wearing vac suits?
Vac suits should be worn anytime you're operating in a high risk or in a vacuum, obviously.
If we're moving cargo in and out of this bay, that means it's open.
Yes, but you're currently in dock.
What is dry dock?
It's not a dry dock, but you've got your docking bay is open. It's like a loading bay to the high port where you are loading cargo. There is a...
Okay, so it's sealed.
It is a sealed... There's an atmosphere environment shared with the high port itself.
All right, off to fight the fire.
Fist is a Class B starport, so it has some pretty fancy, pretty up-to-date facilities. The explosion will rock the ship, and this will get the attention of the captain.
As I am darting through the door to, take over or assist the fighting of whatever the heck just happened. Sorry, hatched.
So the captain will run over to the viewport and get a look at what's going on and sees the fire. He will shout out, he will hit the ship's comm, and he will shout, get that fire under control now. He will turn to Thane. He will say, first order of business, get the people out of the cargo bay. We can vent atmosphere from the dock to put out the fire, but I need all those people out now. Thane then looks to you, Tobias.
It's already on my way.
Doesn't need to say anything because you're already on the way.
May not really care about these crew, but I know I have to look like I do.
As you sort of head out the door of the bridge, you will hear the voice of Thane say, Captain, I'm going to go help. So, you rush down to the cargo bay. I will get you to give me you can give me a dex roll, a running roll, or a ship handling roll.
Would it be ship handling or would it be spacer?
Probably spacer. This will represent how quickly you can get to where you need to be to respond. and that will determine the severity of what's
By
going on.
4. That was a pretty crappy roll.
By 4 on with a roll of 14, that's not too bad at all.
Yeah, but I was hoping more like, by 10 or 11.
He was capable of so much more.
All right, so klaxons will sound, and the captain will announce, all hands, we have a fire in Cargo Bay 1. Emergency crews to respond. How will Dean react to this?
He got blown out.
Well, I don't know that we've firmly established what his particular domain is in this regard. Let's assume he's on standby, I guess.
Damage control.
And, well, I don't know that we have a damage control. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's assume he's on standby for some reason, and so he'd throw his helmet on and get out there. So everybody on the ship is going to be trained for firefighting and basic emergency procedures. So he is a department head, or not a department head, but a team lead. So he'll be with his team at that point, and he'll get everybody moving in the right direction and get them started putting fires out and pulling people out, moving dangerous flammables away from the source.
I believe there is an actual firefighting skill. Not that anyone
There
would
is
have
not.
that.
Is there?
It'd be a professional skill. Or it might be hazardous.
Hazmat's hazmat. That's not necessarily firefighting. No, there actually is not a firefighting skill, and I have looked extensively for one.
I will assume that would be part of your spacer training anyway.
Probably.
All right, so the pair of you, along with other crew, Thane will be not far behind, arriving in the cargo bay. There is the odor of burning chemicals, plastics, and all sorts of, you assume, toxic materials.
Which we won't be able to smell because we're buttoned up.
Well, you might be buttoned up. I'm not sure if the Tobias is buttoned up.
Well, if he isn't, somebody's going to say, "Oi, button up!"
I suspect he was in the suit, but he had not pulled the helmet on until he started rushing down there. So that would explain why the XO takes longer, because he's like, "Oh crap, I need to put on my suit."
All right, so you've taken time to put on your suit. You're not going to smell the odors.
I was likely already wearing the suit.
Sorry.
I just sitting there.
You put on your
holding
helmet.
Helmet. Yeah, exactly.
So you're not going to be able to smell the odors, but the cargo bay is filling with smoke, and you will see a number of crewmen, either unconscious or dead. You're not sure, and you can also see a few of the deck hands low on the ground, sort of coughing, retching, and not in a good state.
Start immediate evacuation procedures.
Occurs to me that I know it's been spoken of, if not demonstrated from time to time, what happens to fires, open fires in a zero-G environment. But now I'm wondering, procedurally, do you turn off the gravity, or does that make it worse?
I think it would make it worse. Probably make it worse.
Because I don't think the fire is... I don't think gravity has any effect on the spread of the fire, but it may have an effect on the movement of atmosphere and things.
It's a good question. And in this case, the gravity's on, just because I don't want to think about the physics of what it'd be like in zero-G.
It gets all swirly.
I'm sure someone on the IIS has done an experiment to show people, and there's probably a video on YouTube of what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't remember what movie it was that I remember them talking about fire in space.
Maybe something like Gravity.
No, not that one. It's older. Kind of wonder if it's not Event Horizon. Yeah, tangent.
Yeah.
All right, so you also have some of the standby crew arriving, ready to take orders and start doing stuff. So
Yep.
the way we will handle
Immediately
this
start direct. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
is kind of like a skill challenge. To put out the fire, we need 6. These aren't going to be like normal 1 second turns, but 3 sort of action rounds of firefighting to put out the fire. To rescue fallen and suffering crew will take also 3 actions or 3 action rounds to do this stuff. Every round, I will be rolling a universe reaction to see if bad stuff happens.
Okay.
The nature of the situation is such that we're going to start at a -5, and each success on your roll will reduce the subsequent rolls by 1.
Right.
So by the end of it, you'll be at -2.
So can I utilize leadership to best direct?
So if you're directing
the people?
you can
Yep.
use leadership. I guess you could use ship handling because that's a shipboard thing. You could use spacer. Any skill, your first aid, any skill that you feel is necessary.
Right.
And likewise for the firefighting, if you have a skill that you think would work, you can use that skill. It doesn't matter if you use the same skill on subsequent things. It just means you're boring if you do.
Yeah, so I'm going to start out with leadership to properly direct the arriving people, like get those people out of here, pointing to the fallen, and then like to another group, it's like and get that fire under control, sort of thing. And woo, good roll. That's by 6, even with the -5.
Okay, so remember, your next one is going to be at -4.
So does that mean Giger's roll is going to be at -4?
It depends on what he is doing. So if he's going to be assisting in the coordinating of people, then
Gotcha.
Okay.
Then that will come into effect.
So only if it's related.
It means it means the fire is being unattended.
Yeah, you can go put out the fire there, Giger. I have faith in you. Use your hat or your towel.
Towel, undoubtedly.
But I'll be rolling the universe reaction for each situation. So I will have to. The GM needs to have a universe reaction roller.
So
yeah, well,
what you could just do there is you could create a character, like a PC, and
you don't need to. You can just create a table. That's what I did. I actually created a separate table for each kind of universe reaction roll.
This is true. But I'll get Tobias to just roll universe reaction for me for your leadership complications.
Right. I was going to get you those tables too.
Okay. Am I applying
No
random modifiers
no.
or just roll?
This is just roll. This is to see if things happen. Neutral, so nothing good or nothing bad happens on your first round of doing stuff. So, Dean, I assume you're going to do firefighting actions?
You assume correctly, which is going to mean I'm going to be at -5, which sucks.
I will. Never mind.
But I'm going to squeak by putting fires out and probably using the towel to bat something down. and to as a improvised thing to pull somebody out of the way with. So I'm mostly fighting smaller fires, trying to get people out. Concentrate on people first, ship second.
Righto, could I get you to do your universe reaction roll, please?
Oh, that's how we're doing it. Well, neutral still.
Okay. So nothing untoward happens. The you are getting on top of the fire. The grav lifter is well and truly ablaze, including some of the containers and barrels, which you know are obviously filled with stuff that goes boom. But your first round is successful. You have the situation under control. You will see that the XO, as people drag crewmen to safety, he will be sort of overlooking them, and he'll say, get this one straight to medical. And, basically doing some triage. So straight to medical, leave him in the hall, go get the next person sort of thing.
Right.
Okay,
So
next round.
Yep.
Is it -4 for you?
yes.
You can use the same skill if you're boring, or you can describe some other action that you're doing to
Yeah, I'm trying to
help
figure out how to
coordinate
use
this.
spacer in this case, since I'm still trying to get people out. I kind of want to. Did we just have the one grav lifter,
You tell me.
or okay? So I'm gonna. There's gonna be a couple dudes who are like sort of trapped under some stuff, and I'm gonna grab one of the smaller ones, not the big, not the really big cargo lifter, but what are those stupid things called? You use them to when you're moving to move a fridge, but it's like that sort of thing, and just lift some stuff up to get these people out.
Like a trolley jack.
That might be right.
All right. Spacer at -4.
Success by 7.
All right. Give me a universe reaction.
Let's see if everything goes to hell. Looks so. Wow, that was really close.
Everything
10.
seems to be under control, and I'm disappointed that you guys are succeeding so fast. You need to have
We're
more
just
failures.
that good.
Well, give it a minute.
Dan was like, I'm about to make another roll here. Hold on.
All right, so Dean.
I'm going to be somewhat boring. I am going to use spacer again, but only because I can't think of what else it would be. But so Dean is going to make a dash to get across the bay and close the connection between the ship and the station, so whatever's going on here doesn't spill over.
Okay.
Little football run.
So this will be made at -4.
Hey.
No way.
Nice roll. By 7. Good job,
All right.
dude.
And you look good doing it.
Give me the universe reaction.
The universe says
Yay.
it doesn't really care for it.
Bro.
It's only poor.
All right. So one of the hazardous materials that is currently enveloped in flame, the container will explode or rupture and then explode in a massive fireball, catching Dean within its radius. I assume the DR on your vac suit is going to be more than 6.
Yes. Actually, is it? Yes.
Is it flexible?
It's 40/20. Remind myself how
40,
that
really?
went.
What do you have?
Monocris?
Why is it 40? Mine was showing as. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's weird. Oh, right. Duh. I forgot that that doesn't automatically update the DR on the combat thing.
Yeah.
And
Looks like
I have
notes.
that plugged. Yeah. It's like 40/20.
All right. So you will take no damage from the fire. Your vac
And that's
suit.
why we suit up.
The vac suit itself is a little charred.
Damn it!
Some fragments of the liquid that was in the container sort of stick to the externals of the suit, but the flames will quickly burn themselves out, and you will be fine.
Damn it! You guys missed some. Go get those other 2 out of the way.
Unfortunately for some of the crew, they will suffer burns. those that were still trapped within the radius of this explosion.
So how would you use ship handling in this case?
I can't figure how you would. That's more of a driving skill, a vehicle operation skill.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Isn't ship handling also coordinating people?
It involves coordinating people, but it is itself not. It is itself a vehicle operation
It
skill.
involves directing the crew and tasks necessary to control the vehicle's speed and direction. It also covers such duties as keeping the captain's log and inspecting the crew. But yeah, so yeah. Well, what was this? A failed roll in battle means the vessel did not go exactly where intended. Details depend on the vessel and the GM's judgment, but might include weapons being masked, failed boarding attempt, or drifting out of formation with your fleet. Oh no, never mind.
I'm happy if you want to use Spacer. I'm happy for you to use Spacer, and you're maybe bashing on the fire control system.
Yeah, that's kind of
getting
what I
stuff
was
working.
thinking.
So that's fine. And this is at
By
-3.
5.
Okay, give me your universe reaction roll.
Booyah! There you go. Very bad. 3. The one
Nice.
the time you don't want to roll a 3.
Okay, give me a perception roll or observation, whichever is higher.
Hold on, I'm double checking something on the suit.
If you give me a perception roll, then you will have to follow that up with an IQ roll. Observation, you can just roll straight observation.
Yep. Success by 0, success by 7. Wow, that's a really good IQ check.
All right, through the smoke and flames, you are somewhat shocked to see that one of your crewmates has been sandwiched between the grav lifter and a cargo container. It does not look like it is not a good situation. The fire is on the opposite side of the grav lifter, so this crewmate is not currently engulfed in flames, but you can see that they are sandwiched between the grav lifter and the cargo container. This is going to take more than one person to either, move the grav lifter or move a container.
Right. Well, on to you, Dean.
Oh, right. Well, that figures. Well, given the current situation, then it seems logical that I should use piloting contragravity to stop the grav lifter before it kills somebody.
Ooh, that's actually a pretty good thought.
And I'm
Or
going
maybe
to
mechanic to actually make it work again. It's long enough to shift off to off to a side. Because if it exploded,
if I'm doing piloting, I can get the +1 for the HUD. Here we go. And that roll looked worse than it actually was, so made it by plenty.
All right, so
I have successfully stopped it.
So at the end of this, you'll have the fire under control, and I guess you're trying to move the grav lifter to free the crewman.
And
Bad stuff
universe is
doesn't
meh.
happen. All right, so after several minutes, you have the situation under control. The fire is extinguished. Crew have been evacuated. You have one severely injured crewmate.
we're totally going to find out he was like high or she is high as a kite.
She, Lena Varkis, she's the officer of third watch, or the third shift. Her injuries appear quite graphic. She's definitely unconscious. You are not able to ascertain whether she is dead or alive. If someone has diagnosis, you can certainly do that, but she does not look in a good way.
I do not. I have first aid, but it's not high.
Ditto. I'm putting that on there to see what it's going to be. Let's see. Nope, no idea. Yeah, definitely signal the medical emergency. Need some medics on here so we can try to get her out, get her clear.
So Thane will come up to you, Tobias. He says, I'll take care of all this. I want you to make sure or find out what happened here.
I'm a sharp nod, because it's like that was my next plan. Because it's like, need to find out, was this dereliction of duty? Was it sabotage? Was it just a simple accident? I don't believe in accidents. Mr. Alani, I need you to look over this vehicle to see if you can determine why it exploded.
Right on it. Not much left.
There is not much left, but you could certainly make an appropriate mechanic roll, or I guess you could do a criminology. I think it's criminology, or what is it?
That's an interesting question.
What's the other skill? Forensic science, or is that under criminology?
Well, I guess it depends on what actually happened. But I don't have those, so we won't even bother looking. And I don't have mechanic for contragravity, so I'm going to have to default that. Stand by one moment. Right, -3. -3 it is. Well, actually, yeah, we'll just grab that one. Okay, well, as long as it's not especially tricky to figure out, he'll figure it out.
Well, the grav lifter is covered in fire retardant foam, but you sort of look it over at the source of the explosion, and it becomes apparent to you that there is definitely some hints of sabotage, as there are some power conduit that has been cut, such that as the grav lifter would operate, the currents flowing through these wires and whatnot would eventually overheat and melt, causing an explosion.
I will take my finding to Tobias, since he's the one that gave me the order initially, and show him. Yeah, this looks like it's been cut. That's too sharp. That's too clean a cut for that to have been done by damage or wear.
Flynn is going to get all scowly, and we're going to have to review the I'm presuming there are like closed caption camera or surveillance cameras in this place, but I don't know if that's actually the case.
Well, let's have the universe decide.
Universe says no, I think.
Yeah, not in the cargo base.
Clearly that's something I've been asking for, and it isn't anything they've done. Right. Okay. With that in mind, I'm going to have to go consult the duty log to see who has actually had access to the cargo lifter before
Also,
this.
while I remember, can I get your enemy roll in the box, please, to see if the first officer intends to.
I thought I already did that. Okay.
Well, if you did it, never mind. All right, since you did it again, I will take that instead of look it up.
But right, yeah. So I'm going to consult the duty logs to see who's actually had access to this area, and
Well,
potentially to the cargo lifter.
over the course of your berth here at Fist, most of the crew have had access to this section of the ship, including people from the dock services from Fist Highport itself.
Now I'm looking over my skills and wondering if I have the appropriate ones for conducting an actual investigation. I suspect not.
So, did you bring this to the XO? This information?
Not yet, because I was still in the process of trying to figure out who was behind it. But knowing that the duty logs isn't going to reveal anything, then yes, I probably will have to go. Let him know that based off of what Mr. Alani has determined on that grav lifter, it does look like it may have been sabotaged.
He looks at you and says, "Are you absolutely sure about this?"
Oh man, how do I actually respond to that? Because I have no idea. I'm not a mechanic.
How much do you trust that mechanic guy? He is one of your
Mr.
he is one of your Drinax buddies.
I wouldn't classify anybody on this ship as one of my buddies.
Well, but there's like 2 other guys on the ship that are from or near Drinax.
Right. And I need to remember to that he's got that constant. He does not have sense of duty to the crew, but he does pretend so to try to get the effective benefits. So with that, he will probably simply state, Mr. Alani indicated this was the case, and he is extremely competent at his job, sir.
He will go, "Well, shit. The captain is going to want a debrief. I want you to join me and bring Mr. Alani with you."
I'm gonna go grab him and take him upstairs.
All right,
Come
so
with me. They
That sounds ominous.
a
debrief the captain.
debrief is organized. The XO, the captain, Tobias, and Dean, you are present, including this person, so Mira Jens, she is the sort of second in command of Third Watch. She was currently, she was in the cargo bay when the incident took place. If you have body language or anything like that, you are welcome to give me a roll. All right, Tobias, you can see that Mira is giving you like the stink eye. She's looking at you almost as if she's casting blame. I'm not sure how you want, what sort of relationship you want to have with other members of the crew. It is up to you whether you know them well, or they're drinking buddies, or just acquaintances. It's up to you.
Probably just going to be just acquaintances, because he's got the quirk level loner where he's like aloof.
Toby's new here too. Newish.
So the captain will say, "You have no idea the amount of bullshit paperwork I now need to fill out because of this. Please tell me some good news." Thane will say, "Unfortunately, Captain, I am led to believe that this was an act of sabotage. Mr. Flynn has reported that Mr. Alani here looked over the grav lifter and noticed some obvious sabotage, and the first officer will look to Dean, sort of expecting your confirmation."
Hi, how are you? Yeah, this is this break in the compressor coil is not typical of a typical wear pattern, and it is too clean of a cut to not have been done deliberately. And Team 2 PMCS this vehicle 2 weeks ago. There's no way they wouldn't have caught this. This had to have been recent.
The captain will sort of nod, and he says, "I'll expect a full report on my desk within 24 hours, if you please, Mr. Alani."
Sir.
At this time, the horn will ring, like doo. The captain will pick up a phone, and it is an old sort of like Battlestar Galactica, the new series Battlestar Galactica phone, and he'll say, "Kale here," and he'll sort of nod, and then he starts shaking his head, and will then hang up. He will say, "Unfortunately, Officer Liana Varkas did not survive her injuries." At which point, Mira pipes up, and she looks at Tobias and says, "You were the officer on watch. This is your sloppy sloppy work. This is your fault it happened. And you know that... actually, give me an IQ roll, since you are aloof.
Oh, yeah. Critical success.
To you, it is no surprise, and you know quite well that Mira and Lena had something of a relationship.
Let's see. How is he going to
And you can
react?
see that her eyes are beginning to swell, and she basically casts blame on Tobias. The captain will say, why don't you return to your quarters? I'll receive a report from you later. Is there anything that Tobias will say in response to her casting blame?
Let's see. I suspect he's going to probably fall into the leadership role where it's like, she starts getting emotional in there. He's just going to look at her and say, secure that until we have everything confirmed.
She says, if I find out that your negligence caused this accident.
That's enough.
And the captain will say, I guess, Mister is still the correct term for feminine.
Well, they do that in the Navy. I don't know if they're going to do that in the Merchant Corps.
Well, he'll say, Jens, you are emotional now. Return to your quarters, and we will discuss this later. And she will, with sort of tears rolling down her face, she will walk out of the bridge, walking past Tobias, giving you the death stare as she walks out. The captain will sigh and he says, Tobias, you should probably stay, or Mr. Flynn, you should probably stay clear of Jens for a few days until she's had time to calm down.
I think the extent of what Flynn is going to say there is just like, sir, which is neither okay, sir, or I disagree, sir. It's just, I hear and acknowledge your suggestion. Does this boat have anything that resembles like a dedicated security team or anything?
It would have a security officer, yes.
Right. Then Flynn is immediately going to recommend that we bring the security officer into this to see, because she, it is far better suited at uncovering the source of this potential sabotage than the rest of us are.
Corval will say, have you told anyone else about this sabotage?
I have not, and Mr. Alani has not had the opportunity.
Well, I would suggest that we do not speak of any of this while we are still at berth with the High Port. If it becomes known that there is we are aware of a saboteur on board, that saboteur, if one of the crew, may use this opportunity to escape. And I would certainly not like that. The captain will sort of, listen to Corval.
Flynn will comment, it's like, well, I would also not like to have a saboteur aboard while we're making a jump.
Am I remembering correctly that the crew of the ship is about a couple dozen?
Yes. I think
So
it was
everybody knows everybody.
I think it was 27. So everyone knows everyone with different degrees of friendship acquaintances and stuff.
So while we have been doing the loading and offloading, have we also had people from the High Port coming aboard?
The captain says, Mr. Flynn, you know how things work. We would have had any.
The GM.
Oh, well,
as you know,
the captain will say, well, as you know, we've had any number of technicians and loaders from the High Port ferry cargo into our bay.
So this could entirely be rival corporate action.
It's certainly possible. There are some that would like to see us fail or delayed. He says, Mr. Alani, you had a chance to look over the damage. Are we space-worthy?
Well,
and
GM, are we space worthy?
you will know that there's like superficial damage, but structurally the ship is sound. Obviously, there's damaged cargo, and there's probably it's going to require a hazmat cleanup, but the ship should be able to leave dock as scheduled.
She'll hold seal, sir.
Very well. Then we will proceed as planned. Mr. Corval, I agree with Tobias. I would rather not leave port with a saboteur on board. Notify security, and let's do what we can to hopefully identify this person. At least try and rule out our own crew.
So this is another question for the GM. Would the high port not have detected the explosion as well? Because I'm wondering if they've started pinging the ship and done the whole, hey, we'd like to know what's going on. Do we need to cut you loose? We don't want you to blow up our our port.
Yeah, this has happened, and
Gotcha.
that was all sort of prior to the brief. Hence, the captain's mountain of paperwork.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Because the company's liable for any damage to the station.
Fortunately, because you were smart and quick to act, you sealed off the cargo bay from the station, and there was no damage to the station itself. It was all contained within the ship. Yay.
Yay us. GM's all like, boo.
All right, so time will pass. Is there anything in particular that you wish to do in this time?
I'm going to be coordinating with the security guy. Wait, he told the exit. Well, I'm still going to coordinate with the security guy because she may have been. What's the whole meme thing where she may have been out of line, but she's not. She wasn't wrong. That it did happen on my shift, so I want to make sure can uncover what the hell's going on.
All right, and that's when you will start going over personnel logs and manifests and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So
I think Alani and all the probably the entire maintenance crew under the chief engineer is probably going to be dealing with who had access to what and when things were checked and yada yada. So we're going to be digging through the logs.
there will also be a cleanup. If Alani has
And that.
hazmat, you can make a skill roll to help with that cleanup effort. Otherwise, it will happen
I do not have that specifically.
That will happen in the background. Several hours will pass, and it's almost to the end of your shift. Though you expect that you're going to be pulling extra duty, given the circumstances, since you have one dead crewman and a number of crew that have burns and other injuries that have at least temporarily taken them off the roster. It is at this time that the XO will ping a call to Tobias. He will say, Tobias, I need to see you in my quarters ASAP, please. Actually, no, he won't say please. ASAP.
And of course he went AFK.
I'm back. Just got back.
Now he's not AFK. Well, I'm going AFK. Ha.
Had to use the bathroom.
Did you hear that?
I did not.
Okay, so the XO, it's towards the end of your shift, and you expect to be pulling extra duty since you have a number of crewmen that are dealing with burns and hazardous material, inhalation, and all that sort of stuff. So they are presently off. So they are presently off the roster. So there's a lot of double duty going on, and there is also, you hear complaints. They don't pay me enough to do this shit. But it is what it is. Anyway, you will be pinged by the XO, and he will say, I need to see you in my quarters ASAP.
Orders. Okay. Then he will put whoever is next in command back in charge and report to see what the XO wants.
You will knock on the XO's door. He will open it. Step aside. You can see that from the expression on his face, he's not in a good mood. He will gesture for you to come in. Being the XO, his stateroom is a little fancier than yours, but not by much. At least he has a private room. I'm not sure whether Tobias would be bunking or not. Probably not. He will then shut the door behind him, and he will sort of rifle through some paperwork on his desk, and he says, I cannot believe that I have to do this. Leanna was my number one. Unfortunately, she has got herself killed, so I need to enlist your services.
And that's like, sir?
I'm not sure how much of the runnings of the ship you know, but Leanna was our forward security. She would deliver bribes to the representatives of the local pirates, and we pay for our safe travel through their systems. Leanna normally delivers that payment. Now that falls to you. I will need you to select a few of your trusted crew, and deliver this to Jaro Crass in the Undercity. And you know the Undercity as being the nickname for the Star Town. Star Town of the High Port.
Wow, this place actually has a Star Town? I thought it was like a null grav place.
This is the High Port. So the Star Town would have to be dirt side?
Nope. The Star Town is the promenade, the public area of the High Port.
Gotcha.
And it is nicknamed Undercity because it is literally underneath the port. So all the port docks and so forth happen up top, and everything is sort of underneath. So it has acquired the nickname Undercity, and it kind of looks like an upside down skyline with like buildings sort of poking downwards.
All right, let's see. Hold on.
He will open up. He will take a case. It is a locked case. Looks a bit like a small toolbox. He will open it up, and inside you will see a number of bars of precious metals.
Gold pressed latinum.
The equivalent of gold pressed latinum. I'm not sure if the Imperium still uses gold, but whatever it is, it's totally untraceable. He says there's 20,000 credits here. The normal bribe is 10k, but it's been known to fluctuate. I expect you to negotiate the best deal possible.
Oh man, I was just double checking something. I was like, obviously, I'd need to take Dean because Dean's PC, but I was like, crap, he's on it.
You would also take FX's character.
Yep.
Just in case we sort of run overboard into next week.
Indeed. So, what is the law level here? It is really, according to Driver Wiki, there's 0 law level here.
Well, so the Starport is its own sort of government typically. So I think I think the law level on a starport is like 3,
I believe so. Yeah, 3 or 4.
and that's independent of the world it's on, even if it's 0 outside or even if it's 6 outside.
This is an Imperial starport, so it has that Imperial extra territoriality.
Extrality.
Extrality, that's the word. It's way too early in the morning to do words. So, yeah, I think it's 3 or 4.
And I'm trying to remember because I know law levels is always messing me up. LC, the lower is worse.
Yes.
So we want 3.
No, higher is it higher?
Higher law level is bad. Lower
LC.
legality class on items is bad.
Yeah, so law level gets tougher the higher it is.
3
Up to
is open
6
carry.
is full control, I think.
Right. CR, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, question is, why bring Dean?
Back up.
Yeah.
So Cora
Well,
will
he
say
can be honest and not be a snitch.
You will be dealing with some unsavory sorts. So I suggest you bring people that you can trust to have your back if things get sticky.
Understood. Definitely going to need to check out some stuff from the armory.
I would suggest you don't cart with yourself an arsenal. That will put your contact a little on edge. And it's probably not a good idea to piss
No, I
off
was just
our
thinking
contact.
sidearms.
Take what you need. But yeah, a sidearm should be all that you need.
Yeah, what is the control rating for this place?
So it'll be
To the GM.
3 or 4, whatever the Imperial starport control rating is, since this is an Imperial port. Fist itself is a water world, so
Oh, is it?
yeah. I don't know
I
what
legitimately
percentage.
thought it was vacuum. I don't know why. Why? Yep. Hydrographics, wetware. Oh, I think I know what the problem was. I was not looking at this. I was like, originally it was our next jump spot. I think that's vacuum world.
But in this case, you're in the high port. You're not on the surface.
Yep. Okay. So definitely need Sullivan because I know he's the merchanty type. I'm with you there, Giga. I'm trying to figure out why would he want to take Dean? Because if he knows Dean is honest.
Well, he's honest, so he's not going to skim. And he's not truthful, so he doesn't have a problem with lying. So that typically will work. Also, he's probably known to be pretty decent in a fight, so good to have around as backup, I suppose.
And it's not like you're doing anything illegal.
And people like him.
Hiring pirate or giving money to pirates generally is kind of illegal.
Well, and on the other hand, it's kind of the cost of doing business.
Is it criminal to pay extortion, or is it criminal to receive to extort?
Well, it's definitely criminal to perform extortion.
The answer to that is yes.
I don't know it well. I mean, paying bribes is illegal, but that's against public officials, not necessarily other people. Other people, you're just paying for services.
So I don't think what you're doing is illegal. You're just paying criminals to leave you alone.
It's a gray area.
All right, so we got our team.
So he will close up the case. He says, it would be good if you come back with some.
That's why I need Sullivan along.
Take whoever you need. Your contact, Jaro Cass. You can find him in the Black Drift Bar in the Undercity. I'm sure you can find your way around. You have any questions?
No, I think the task is clear. Now
He says, I swear, Flynn, do not let me down. Do not make me look bad in front of the captain, or I'll have you and your group on scrubbing duty for the next month.
Noted.
He will give you the case. It it is quite heavy, but nothing you can't manage.
Oh man, naturally this is the time when we need the talker, and he's not here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Toby can just give him the look.
We could cut this session short if you wanted to. It'd be kind of a good place to leave it, and then we can bring in FX for that part.
It would be somewhat disappointing, but it would be logical.
Agreed. This is the problem where PCs are specialized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a good thing this came up, because it's probably not the last time we're gonna have to deal with this sort of situation. What's Dean doing here? We got to figure that out. So I think it'll be okay. We'll just have to. I have to figure out Dean's justification for playing
Well,
along.
I like your the angle of he's good in a fight, and simply with that, knowing that going into a situation where we're trying not to, but it's entirely possible that bad crap is going to happen, then it's probably a good idea to have someone who's good in a fight.
Yeah, he's not like a full-on Holden or anything.
All right. So, did we want to leave it here, or did we want
Yeah,
to?
I think that's probably the logical choice. That way, we can actually have FX present, since we're going to need him as the guy who can actually merchanting, and maybe we can come back with a lot more money than we should.
Well, you were
Depends on
told
how we get it.
10 grand is the usual fee.
Yep. Maybe, he gets in there and the guy really likes him and he cuts him a deal and, only charges him 9 grand. Of course, with our luck, he will roll an 18 and we will leave under fire and we'll have to deal with pirates the entire time.
And if FX is absent next session, he gets spaced.
Roll up
I
a
don't
new
wanna get left.
character.
All right, so we have decided that it'll be 2 points per session, so
Yeah.
you can gather your 2 points.
2
As per
points ahead
normal,
of him.
you have 3 sessions to tweak and rejigger your character as needed.
Yeah, I'm straight away gonna spend one to add merchant just in case. I'm
Probably
just
not
adding.
reasonable.
I'm just putting 1 point in it, so it's like I've got a 12, but that's just like, yeah, that's just in case.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's anything else we need to clear up. So we got the company name. Well, okay, so I started a page for the ship on the wiki, and I guess we just need to get Runky to slap the info on there.
Yeah, I'll try and get that done this week. I don't expect to be too busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mentioned in Discord to you there, Gigar. It's like I intentionally held off
Mhm.
because I wasn't sure. I will try to get Flynn up there on the wiki probably tomorrow. I just have to remember not to include the point and merchant.
Yeah, I am wondering about the ship stats, because I've got a ship template on there, a vehicle template, but I don't know if the spaceships is going to need more than that. I think generally the stats fall into line with the typical GURPS vehicle stats, if I'm not mistaken, just with the extra systems. But yeah, we can deal with that.
Just trying to find where the company name is.
Olympus LLC?
Sure, that'll work.
Although everybody's probably looking at the company going, you've got 15 or 14 other ships, right? This isn't just the 15th one that you sent out to get blown up.
Yes.
It's like the Titanic 7. Was that really the 7th Titanic?
All right, well,
maybe it should be Olympus Enterprises.
If there is nothing else,
Yep. Get to it next week.
we will continue this next week. So we might, since we're having a short session this time, we might actually roll into the planned session 2. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
In any
Cool.
case, if you are watching this and you have questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Bye-bye.
Off you go.